Hey guys, how's it going? This is another video from the F1 2018 career mode, and this time it's episode 5, where we go to Austria, which has the lowest lap time, the shortest lap time, and we also go to Silverstone, my home Grand Prix in Britain. So, let's get straight into the Austrian Grand Prix then, or the qualifying for it. It's nice and sunny, it's looking good, it's looking like a nice track for me as well, apart from the fact that we just spin off. So we've had some cagey moments, some scary moments where we could have easily have just lost our car and ended up being knocked out qualifying, which unfortunately does actually happen.
What happened? Let me
Yeah.
know, okay?
We tried to push for a faster lap, pushed a little bit too hard, and we end up losing the car. Now I'm not going to flashback, I'm going to make sure it is realistic here, retire from the session, but that will put us in 15th place for qualifying, as we were unable to qualify in Q2, as this is Q1, so we stuck to 15th, even though we got the fastest time in the entire qualifying session. That is frustrating. We could have just given up on that lap, we would have got the fastest time, but I decided to get some more practice in and mess it up. So yeah, not the greatest way to start qualifying. We're going to be starting from 15th, but the pace is there.
We're almost ready to go then.
So hopefully we can.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
Hopefully we can get a good start here, overtake loads of cars, and it should be an action-packed race. So it's lights out. Well, it is lights out now eventually. It took a while that time. I was hoping it would start a bit faster, but we managed to get overtaken by Gasly, the Toro Rosso driver. We tried to go around the outside to get tagged to him, get a bit stuck to him actually as well. But we get the warning for the collision, which I think was not really anyone's fault. I don't think that should be a penalty, so we should be fine for that. But we get good traction and managed to get a good run then into the hairpin, the tightest corner on the circuit. Down to first gear just to make it around. But we've got Hulkenberg, the Renault driver, on our outside there. We managed to get past him. Now we've moved up 2 positions from the start. Ricciardo and Hartley up ahead are battling quite hard, costing them a lot of time. We nearly hit him. That was so close. We had to go down to first gear then to get around that corner without hitting the cars ahead. But first lap then, there's been quite a bit of action already, and we're not even fully round. Come on, we can get Hartley surely into this corner. Maybe not. Maybe onto the run to the next corner. We try it. Up the inside, and we do go wide by quite a long way. Get a warning, unfortunately, and yeah, that was pretty close there to getting a penalty. If we get another warning, I think that's it. So we've got to be careful now. We get another warning for a collision with Ricciardo. Look at our tyres then. So 3%, 4%. So far, it doesn't seem too bad on the tyres. Should have to go for quite a long way. As we're now battling Ricciardo, he comes back at us though. But can we get him into the next few corners? We've got the pace on him. We're definitely faster than him on lap 2 of this race. He seems to be struggling a little bit. Maybe the battle with Hartley didn't really help him that much. But now into overtake in the ERS mode, and we go past him. Lovely jubbly. Just about avoid the penalty there. We just about avoid cutting or extending the track. Now we quickly escape Ricciardo, and we get onto the back of Leclerc now. Also, Stroll's ahead of him, and someone else who I can't see his name right now. That is Ericsson, Leclerc's teammate. As we do finish Leclerc off there, get rid of him. And now we've got Stroll, and we are much faster than our Williams counterparts, setting the fastest lap of the race at a 1 minute 8.5. And we roughly get past him there. It's quite a rough move, but we do it with some progression. Put up the inside. We're not going to waste time with these cars. We've got the pace. We might as well get past them as fast as we possibly can. Will we get Ericsson into this corner? We do decide to back out of that and brake a bit more. But hopefully onto the next corner we can get him. But Ricciardo, who we battled with previously, he's now at the race. I think he had some sort of mechanical issue there, and he had to come out of the race unfortunately. So Verstappen's the only Red Bull driver right now, and he is right up ahead. Next car, we get another warning. So we've had 2 now, so actually we've got 1 more, and then we will get a penalty. So we've got 14 laps to try not to get another warning, but now we've got the other Red Bull driver behind us, hopefully, as we go around this corner. And it looks like we've got the move done. Now on to lap 6. Setting another fastest lap. We're also being told that we can use faster engine modes and use more of our fuel, but I want to make sure we've still got a bit at the end of the race, because in previous races sometimes we don't end up having enough fuel at the end of the race and we have to put it into lean mixture, and it can really lose you a lot of time, where at the end of the race it can be quite crucial to gain time. So our tyres aren't doing too badly. We decided to keep going. I think we've just hit our pit window now, so we were supposed to pit on lap 6, I believe, but so far so good with our tyres. Now up to the back of Raikkonen. You can see the leader is not far ahead. We started in 15th place, but unfortunately we get a penalty, 3-second time penalty. So that means that we need to overtake all these cars and then get 3 seconds ahead of them. I mean, we tried to go for the overtake, there was no space. We either crash into Raikkonen, as we'd already committed to the move, or we overtake him and cut the corner. I think that was the safest route there. We do it. It's unfortunate. We just about do it, but we do it. We do it. We get the corner cutting penalty, but now we're going to push on, forget about that, and try and catch on to the end, or to the back of Perez, who's now battling quite hard with Bottas. We could get both of them here if we're smart about it. We got the inside of Perez. Now we've got a nice run on Bottas still. We should be able to go down for a move on the inside into this corner. We go for it, but we just can't get down the inside. He's just too good on the brakes, but we try for it now on the straight. They're pit straight on lap 7. Moved on to lap 8. And it is our pit lap right now, so we are supposed to pit on this lap, but our pace is just so good. I decided to keep going as Hamilton and Vettel going to the pits. We're getting another warning, unfortunately, which means we've got another 2 warnings now before we get another penalty of another 3 seconds. But let's try and push on this lap. Let's try and set a good lap now. Whilst they're pitting, we've got clean air, and we do pit 2 laps later on lap 10. We try to extend it because now we're moving on to an actually harder compound, a super softs, I believe. Yes, that's right. And we're going to have a load of tyres at the end of the race then to really just push this car to the limits right now. Now, it looks like Hamilton may get us as we come out of the pits here. But you can just see how much time we've made up. You can see Bottas has got quite a big gap to us. And we're not far away from Vettel, so we've really done well in the pits there. Now we're right at the back of Vettel, we're right behind him. And we're in 3rd place, so there's no chance of us. There's no chance of us losing this podium now. If we can stick to this position, we'll be guaranteed a podium. There's no more pit stops from now on. And now we're in 2nd place after overtaking Vettel. And Hamilton, it seems like an easy target here, as we managed to get a good run on that final corner, and we go ahead of him. We're in the lead of the race. But bearing in mind, we've got a 3 second time penalty. So if we don't finish 3 seconds ahead of him, we will actually not come first. But so far, we've managed to get a massive gap to him, and we set another fastest lap, which is actually quite close to our qualifying time, I believe. I think it's about 7/10 off that, and I think we are over 3 seconds away now. However, we do get a penalty. We get 6 seconds now added on to the end of the race with 2 laps to go. We've got to make up about half a second now. But I think at this moment in the race, Hamilton and Vettel were starting to get really close to each other and they're battling really hard and losing a lot of time. Get another warning. We've been really struggling. We lose the back end and lose a lot of time there. We're going to lose a lot of speed on the straight now as well. Another warning. One more and we'll get 9 seconds. We've got to be careful on these next couple of laps now. But we're just about in the fringes of that 6 seconds. But I believe we have won the race. 1st place goes to me. We have done it. Brilliant. The Williams team will be very proud of that. That was a very, very easy lap. Easy track, sorry. Easy, easy, easy.
Just what set them apart from the competition here?
I think the key here is just the quality of the racecraft, you know? I mean, how many overtakes did they make overall? I'm sure we have a stat person keeping score somewhere. and it's fantastic to watch, isn't it? This is a strategic sport at the end of the day, but it's always really gratifying to see close-fought battles on track. It's what all the fans are after.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I have to give it to Power.
Get in there.
Getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern-day Formula One.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling installment.
So, that was quite an easy race. I think the difficulty is too low down. We tried to change the difficulty. You'll see that in a moment, I think. We tried to change the difficulty, but apparently you can't change it once you started the weekend. So, we messed up there. So for Silverstone, we will be using the same 90 difficulty as we had before. But I'm pretty sure for the next episode, episode 6, we will be moving it up to 95 to make it a bit harder and a bit more challenging for us. So this is where we do try to change difficulty. But so looking at the standings then, in terms of the driver standings, we could definitely win the championship with a few more upgrades and a few more consistent performances like we are doing right now. We won the last 2 races, but the constructors is going to be very difficult because we've got Ferrari, who are, I think, 114 points ahead of us. That is going to be hard. Now, this is Silverstone Q1, and we have a bit of a struggle. We do find out that we're not really that fast round here in Q1, but in Q2 we do pick up the pace and come third. So, we're down on to Q3 and finish less than 3/10 of the pace, getting a really good qualifying position. Going into this race, we could do something at a home Grand Prix here, but I was struggling a little bit around this track. It seems to be we don't have enough pace on the straights.
Of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Power completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Raikkonen, Max Verstappen, and Vettel, Ricciardo, Perez, Ocon, and Charles Leclerc, Alonso, Hartley, Lance Stroll, and Hulkenberg, Gasly, Magnussen, Romain Grosjean, and Carlos Sainz. Ericsson and Stoffel Van Dorn completes the grid.
So then, the grid has been set.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
And we're ready for a simple one-stop strategy to try and get ourselves a 3rd race win in a row at our home Grand Prix here. And we get a pretty poor start. I think we tangle a little bit of Vettel as well. There's some Raikkonen, sorry. But yeah, Bottas just shoots off and he's right on the back of Hamilton. There's no chance there for us. We had a terrible start, as we always seem to do in these races, with 13 laps. Vettel, a very fast car, actually probably a faster car than ours at the moment, is right up behind us. Again, lap 2, Vettel tries to go for the move. You can see the red proximity arrow. We have a pretty poor line. I think the pressure from Vettel puts us off, which will mean we have a good run into the next few corners. We get a strategy change, and we are going to stay on the lap 4 strategy, so our tyres aren't too bad right now, but we're losing a lot of pace, and I felt like if we were to pit, I didn't want to get stuck behind too much traffic, so I decided to keep going on my strategy and pit on lap 4, and this was not great at all. We lost a lot of time. You can see Vettel getting really far up in the distance now as Raikkonen touches us and caused some contact. But we tried to get him back here, and I think we do. So, yeah, it's been a tough race. We've really been much slower. We can see the Mercedes cars now miles up ahead. We don't have the pace. I don't know what it was in this race. I just don't think we have the pace to do much. Either it's just the AI are just so much better around here than other tracks, or we just don't have the straight line speed. Because you notice in the Austrian Grand Prix, there wasn't a lot of straights there, so you don't have to have that much power to be able to do a lot. Also, the engineer keeps going on about the engine. It's wearing a little bit now. We're not getting as much power out of it. That's probably a factor in the reason why we're struggling for pace on the straights here. We come into the pits on lap 6, so we actually decided to go a bit longer on our tyres. We're supposed to pit on lap 4, but there was a rumour that there could be some rain coming into this race. So I thought, you know what, let's wait a little bit longer just in case the rain sets in early. And unfortunately it doesn't, but we're going to move on to the medium tyres now, which will easily get to the end of the race. And now we've got a Ferrari sandwich here. Actually no, Ricciardo gets ahead of us, but originally it was a Ferrari sandwich. It's pretty tough with Raikkonen trying to get past us. We've got Perez not close, not far behind us, and then we've really got a battle on our hands now to keep some of these positions as they just keep coming at us and they keep having a pace. How they've got so much pace. But here we get tapped by Ocon. He then gives us another tap and end up getting pushed back around again. Then we continue around this corner, and then for some reason Ocon decides just to hit us twice, and we get warnings for that. Why do we get warnings for that for? Here's another replay of this, right? Now you could say we didn't give him enough space, but he tried to go for a gap that wasn't really there. I mean, I'm just going to say it's a race incident, but yeah, I'd say that's probably just a race incident. Maybe I should have given him more space, probably should have done. Luckily we got turned around again, which won't help Ocon's front wing, but then for some reason he just decided to turn into us again. I think he lost the back end and slid into us, and that cost us a penalty, which wasn't great. Luckily we've still got our front wing though. At this point, with the penalty and that collision there that I don't think was really my fault completely. I mean, maybe a little bit. I was getting a bit annoyed. I was like, I really want to start putting some laps down. I really tried to show my true potential in these last few laps in this race. I really put the foot down. You can see I've already caught up to the back of Perez in a couple of laps. I'm trying to go around the outside here, but don't really get the move done. He's still fairly close into Marix and Becky's here. Can we get the move done here then? To get 7th place, not an amazing result, would it be? Not really, compared to our last two results of first and first. But we can always try and get as much back as we can, as Stroll is now just behind us, but a long way back. We tried to take the position here, got a little bit wide, but we should get the move done. And now Raikkonen is the next target, who's battling quite hard with Ricciardo, and because of that we get past both of them. However, we do have a 3-second time penalty, and we'll probably lose the positions, but we made up so much time in that race, just determination really. And we do finish the race, finishing the episode.
Bad luck. It just wasn't our day today.
Yeah, it was a good result in Austria, and then a pretty terrible result in Silverstone.
Who moves further ahead at the top of the table.
So we win both the rivalries as well, from our teammate and from Ricciardo, so we'll get some extra points for that. We also qualify 4th or better, so we end up getting 600 more points, which will definitely help us quite a lot here. So at this point we decide to upgrade some of the parts to help us with our power unit, because unfortunately the way this setup is, you get a few power upgrades and then you have to do the efficiency upgrades in order to get through to the extra power upgrades, and we do need the extra power right now. In some of the tracks like Silverstone, we are struggling a little bit, but that could also be down to downforce. But we'll try our best to try and upgrade this part as fast as possible, and hopefully we can get this maxed out by the end of the season. And then I think next season is going to have to be a focus on the downforce and the aerodynamics. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you have, leave a like and tell me what you enjoyed about the video in the comment section down below. I will see you in the next video, episode 6 of the F1 2018 career mode.